Well, one person has finally been nabbed in the gruesome gang rape that took place in Dumka in Jharkhand. Allegedly, about 17 people are suspected to be involved in this gang rape. The first one who was identified by the police after the woman allegedly named and identified this person has now been nabbed. This is the latest that we are actually getting on this story. One woman gang raped allegedly by 17 men. Her husband held hostage inside the home. The woman dragged into the bushes and then raped. This is what has happened, and these are the details that we're bringing right now. Finally, after massive outrage over the last 24 hours, the administration has moved into nabbing one person. The rest, the hunt for them is still on. Let me tell you actually what happened here. What do we know about this case so far? 35-year-old was allegedly gang raped last evening while she was returning home along with her husband from the market. In fact, the victim and the husband were held hostage by 17 to 18 men. The victim was dragged into bushes. Then the brutes took turn to gang rape her, to rape her one by one. They threatened the victim, they threatened the husband, and then left them over there. The victim approached the police next day and then revealed the entire story.
अब वहाँ झारखंड की सरकार है, निश्चित रूप से कहीं ना कहीं कोई गलती तो हुआ ही है, और अगर किसी ने किया है तो वहाँ की भी सरकार को नहीं बख्शना चाहिए, और जितनी कड़ी से कड़ी एक तो निंदा करनी चाहिए, कड़ी से कड़ी सजा देनी चाहिए.
Well, RJD leader Shivanand Tiwari has sparked fresh controversy over his comments on the Dumka Gangrape Case. Shivanand has pinned the blame on consumerist culture for the shocking incident and cited item dance in films, ads and porn content as a reason for increase in rape cases. Listen in.
जो आदिवासी इलाका है, उस इलाका में कभी कोई कल्पना नहीं कर सकता था कि किसी औरत का किसी लड़की के साथ जो है बलात्कार होगा. लेकिन जब से ये आधुनिकीकरण के नाम पर, आधुनिक समाज बनाने के नाम पर ये जो उपभोक्तावादी संस्कृति का चलन शुरू हुआ, उसने औरतों को एक उपभोग का वस्तु बना करके पेश किया. सिनेमा में आइटम डांस हो, विज्ञापन हो, या मोबाइल फोन में माने प्रोन वाला तस्वीर हो, ये सब मिलजुल करके माने बलात्कार की मानसिकता को तैयार करते हैं.
Yogita Bayanal joins me on the phone line. Yogita, there are two unfortunate aspects to this. One, that such a brutal crime can happen in broad daylight, and so far we've not managed to nab, except one person, any of these other 16 guys. Two, the kind of commentary we are hearing from our politicians, blaming everything else except a poor maintenance of law and order.
Absolutely, and this is very regular statements. These are the regular statements from these politicians because they have nothing else to kind of respond back. They just can't accept their own failures, so they put everything on others. Like right now they're blaming Bollywood. Of course, we also sometimes feel the objectification of women is bad, but then not everything is about that. It is about law and order also. Which they definitely fail every time. And if this can happen in broad daylight, time, and you can imagine what happens in the night. And this is not one case. This is happening every single day. We are hearing and following it up. So what is lacking is some kind of a willpower, some kind of a strong sense of prevention. So that you will never hear from these politicians because till the time they don't have any action plan, they will never work on it. And if you ask them what can be done to stop, they would have no answers. They would have no roadmap. So till the time they don't have any roadmap, they don't pull the strings, together. I think this is going to continue and our women are going to suffer every single day. And this is very unfortunate. What has happened is like beyond words. One has to kind of really... one gets jitters only. We can always discuss, but then what is the solution? And I think it's not one solution. It's series of actions which are to be taken, and then only it can be kind of sorted. And I'm afraid that we not even take one baby step towards space. It's all only in discussions and on papers.
Yes, that's that I think I completely agree with you that a lot of what happens is just discussion in studios and on paper, but unfortunately on ground the reality doesn't seem to be changing at all, Yogita Bhyana. And it's only once in a while that these cases actually make it to the limelight, make it to national news, and then some action takes place. But in your experience, are there far more cases that don't even get the attention, let alone any justice?
I would say 99% of the cases which are not even highlighted and not even reported. I mean, even if they are reported, they don't get media limelight. So we are talking about one case which by default comes to the surface, and that also gives us jitters and it boils our blood. But what about the 99% of the cases? And I'm not exaggerating. 99.9% I would say don't even come to the surface. So if we can't even prevent the visible cases, you can imagine what is happening otherwise, especially in rural areas. It's very unfortunate because even sitting in as activists, we are limited to, kind of bandwidth is there to kind of reach out to the nearby villages or go somewhere. But interior, you really need that kind of a cadre. You really need that kind of, I think government support is needed. Otherwise, even we will give our lives, we will not be able to reach to that level of rural villages of India where women's safety can be brought out. I think it's a far-fetched dream, but really wish our governments were serious so we also could have got motivated and we could have reached there,
Yeah.
So
well, let me ask Mr. Vikram Singh this question, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Singh, all right, we seem to have lost that line with him, but thank you, Yogita Bhyana, for joining us and giving us your reaction. A really horrifying incident. A husband and wife returning home midway stopped by 16 to 17 men. The couple obviously overpowered there by these brutes. The man is held hostage while the woman is dragged into the bushes, allegedly, where this brutal crime takes place. Finally, one person has now been arrested.